The following presentation is a part of the National Heavy Boxing League's 10th season, celebrating 10 years of the premier level of heavy boxing in the Team Fortress 2 community, and a final send-off as the NHBL closes after its 10th season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Season 5 kickoff matches of the National Heavy Boxing League. Tonight is going to be a very interesting set of matchups, as for the first time in NHBL history, we'll have four matches in one night. It's going to be a very interesting night. The gentleman's Fedora here, pleased to be up here in the booth with Mindless Gonzo and Clayface. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about Season 4 a little bit, on how we just come off of a great season there, with the first time for us live streaming the NHBL with Season 4, as well as with Lears being the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. And now coming into this season, we have all tied up for the conferences that have the most Sasha Heavyweight champions, with Soviet Russia Heavy Boxing Conference having 2 champions and the National Heavy Boxing Conference having 2 champions. So with Season 5, this is going to determine which conference will have the upper hand in Sasha Heavyweight champions. Looking at both sides of the bracket that we have here, we have great fighters on both sides, especially. At least coming into the season, Gonzo, do you have any opinions on if you think one conference is more favorable than the other of winning the Sasha Heavyweight Championship?
Well, that I cannot say for certain, because, well, I barely even know some of these players, and sadly, nobody gave me the list. Weren't you for that?
There's been a public tournament out for months now that's had updated stuff with that. I think that's your fault there, Gonzo.
Yeah, but then again, I'm a very busy man. I can't be paying attention to everything now, can I?
That's of course. All right, let's get our insight here from Clayface. Now, Clayface, you've seen several of these fighters in the NHBL that we have. Do you think that it'll be the Soviet Russian Heavy Boxing Conference claiming the championship title this year, or do you think it'll be the National Heavy Boxing Conference, and why?
It really does not matter in the National Heavy Boxing League. We have seen it all, people. We've seen it all, truly. Last season, in Season 4, we saw Lears, who's a complete rookie, come into the whole thing and dominate everybody. Now, that is why I think anything can truly happen in the National Heavy Boxing League. And I believe it's going to be a very heavily contested tournament all the way through until the Sasha Heavyweight Championship.
You are right about that. Now let's talk about this first match that we have coming up in between Unfriendly Hoovy and Spaten. Now, we don't know about Unfriendly Hoovy because he's a rookie as well, but we've seen many rookies be successful in the NHBL in the past. But we have Spaten here, who has placed, I believe, 2nd or 3rd place in the past 3 tournaments that the NHBL has had, which, if you're keeping consistent like that, just as White Russian Bear has, or Setuplit has, or Some Porcupine has, with keeping consistent in your titles, then that's especially that good thing to be taking into this tournament. Now, he's facing Unfriendly Hoovy, which, again, he's a rookie. We don't know much about him, but he is going to be a very interesting fight, and he is going up against someone who's kept consistent positioning in the tournaments for the NHBL in the past 3. At least in terms of that match, I'm not sure who's going to win it, but Spaten does have the advantage over here. What do you think, Clayface?
Oh, of course, Spaten has the heavy advantage coming into this fight. However, as you just said, Fedora, we have seen many rookies come into this and win and be very successful. Spaten, of course, has been coming at least 2nd or 3rd in the past couple tournaments. He's been a very successful fighter leading into Season 5. But now he's playing with fire. He's officially in the Season 5 National Heavy Boxing League tournament, one of the biggest and certainly the most important tournament in the National Heavy Boxing League. This is where champions are made. This is where new faces are seen. This is when we see how good a rookie can be, and I believe we can see so many new rookies come into this and win a lot of things. So my money is on Spottin. However, I do believe there could be an upset in the making.
Indeed. And now the next match we have up here, we have two rookies, Cool Dog and the Classy Man. You can only really go by names in this one by both of those fighters because, again, they're rookies. We don't know much about them. Gonzo, at least going by names here, would you rather have someone who's cool or would you rather have someone who's classy? In other words, which fighter do you think will win that match?
That is a very good question because little is known about them, and only going by names, it's just as impossible as asking what came first, the chicken or the egg. It's very, very difficult to call to make. It's just, I can't really just say for certain who will win or who I want to win.
I'm about the same boat with you. And now let's go with this next match, the second to last match for the night. We have Poseidon and Setuplit. Now, Poseidon, another new fighter in the NHBL. He's the only person that I've really seen who has the NHBL tag in their name, even though we do not have an official tag of our group, which is pretty significant if you have that dedication to put a tag in your name for the NHBL. And we thank him for going that distance to give us free advertising for that. But then he's facing Setuplit, a guy who has consistently gotten 4th place in all of the last 3 tournaments, the 3rd Annual Boxing Day Classic, the Playboy Fortress Invitational, and the Vatican City Gaming Battle Royale. And he's had very interesting strategies, like during the Vatican City Gaming Battle Royale, he used to his advantage the rule where you were allowed to exit out of the ring and just not enter the locker rooms. He was literally camping in Time to Play Network Arena on top of the frame where the fighters would enter and exit into the locker rooms. He was just camping on top of there and waiting for a fighter to come in, and it managed to get him all the way to the conference finals of the Battle Royale, which was a very great strategy. And then in the Playboy Fortress Invitational, he also used the ability to, where they had a rule in that tournament where you were allowed to crouch. They used that to their advantage extremely, and especially seeing that he uses those rules to his advantage. And now with Season 5 and the standard rules and regulations being in, it's going to be interesting to see if he is going to use since he cannot use the abstract rules to his advantage, he has to use the standard ones. He's going to have to adapt to survive. Now, Clayface, you've seen Setuplit fight, and he's facing Poseidon here. Do you think it's going to be the rookie, or do you think it's going to be the consistent 4th place fighter in that match?
Here is the thing in that match. Setuplit is a very unpredictable fighter, in my opinion. He fights very, very sloppy. If you watch him closely and you really look at him, how he fights, you can see how he fights. It's a very interesting technique. It's a very sloppy technique. But hey, if it works, it works. He's been getting 4th in the last couple of tournaments. Making a name for himself. Yes, I think Setuplit will be the victorious tonight, but as I said, never count out these rookies. Fedora Poseidon looks hot and heated. I think he could surely bring up a couple of sparks in this fight.
Indeed. And this last match that we're going to have for the night that almost didn't happen because one of the fighters did not come online, but finally did. Some Porcupine versus the Derpus Russian. Now, Some Porcupine is at the top of his prime right now in the National Heavy Boxing League. He's won 3 tournaments in a row: the 3rd Annual Boxing Day Classic, Playboy Fortress Invitational, Vatican City Gaming Battle Royale. He's 3 tournaments in a row winning them. The record right now for the NHBL of most tournaments won consistently. If he wins the Sasha Heavyweight Championship, which, seeing as his history, it's likely that he can. If he wins the Sasha Heavyweight Championship, he will have a record of not only the most tournaments won consistently by a heavy boxer, he will also one of the first non-rookies per se to win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship, because every season that we've had, it's been a new fighter or a replacement fighter coming in to win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. And Porcupine has been a fighter in the NHBL since third annual Boxing Day Classic. So he would be the first experienced fighter to win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. And then you got him here against the Derpist Russian, who is a new fighter we don't know much about, but he could potentially, you never know in the NHBL. You never know if a rookie could win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. You can only guess based on their first match or based on their names. So Gonzo, at least looking at this, you have the rookie against the 3 tournament in a row winner. You think it's going to be in favor of Porcupine, or do you smell an upset?
That's also another tough call. It's not only because when it comes to the NHBL, it'll take more than just veteran status to even come to victory. In a sense, I'm trying to English, but you may have to excuse me. But of course, you said it so yourself. Mine does have quite a bit of a legacy, but the NHBL, it's all about landing the punches and the luck. Can you precisely swing it at the right time? Can it land? All these factors come into play on the ring. So basically, you have to trust to Lady Luck to be in your favor, or you may have to just suffer the loss when she isn't.
Now, Clayface, I know you may get upset at me if I don't get your opinion on this as well, because I know how much of a Some Porcupine advocate you are. So let's get your opinion here. Do you think Porcupine is going to come out on top and advance straight to the divisionals, or do you think that there could be an upset?
Porcupine is the favorite to win this whole tournament in my opinion as it stands. I think he is the heavy favorite to win this. There are some guys who can definitely challenge him for this title, but we won't go into those details as of now. Right now, I want to just discuss how good Porcupine actually is. He has been unstoppable in these last few tournaments, and I'm a big fan of him. I like how he fights. I really enjoy watching him. He's always pressurizing, always really, moving around constantly. He's just a very unpredictable fighter as well. He really moves all around the ring, he uses all of his time in the ring as effectively as he can. And as you are definitely going to see tonight, he is definitely the favorite to win this. As I said, Some Porcupine will be winning this whole thing. I'm making the call right now. If he gets knocked out right now in this first round of this fight, I will be very shocked. So my money is on Some Porcupine to win this whole thing. As of right now.
I think we already got your opinion when you started out. You're like, Porcupine! I think we already knew who you were going to decide with that as well.
Someone's exposing his favoritism a little bit too much now, isn't he?
No. I'm not kidding.
This is why I stick to play-by-play commentating, because
since me commentating, since like 2013, I've been commentating heavy boxing all around Australia, and now in the National Heavy Boxing League since last year. I think that Porcupine is one of the best fighters definitely on American soil and in the National Heavy Boxing League as of right now. So, as I said, I'm putting all my money on him to win this whole thing.
You see, this is why
calm down with your favoritism.
This is why I stick to play-by-play commentary, because I have no bias here. That's why we have you, Gonzo, you and Clayface at analyst, because you guys can have an opinion. I can't.
Yikes, Clayface. I think you need to cool down a little bit. I missed.
We're going to introduce our referee for this first match. He is the only international referee in the National Heavy Boxing League, based in Finland, and was the sole referee for the Playboy Fortress Invitational. Please give a warm round of applause for the one and only Dr. Sensei Hugo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our away heavy boxer. He's a newcomer to the National Heavy Boxing League, as well as he is not here for any funny business. Give it up for the one and only unfriendly Hoovy. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our home heavy boxer here, topping it in the top 4 places for the last several tournaments. Please give it up for the one and only Spottin.
Thank you.
And while they're doing their mandatory warm-up rounds, we're going to go ahead and comment on their loadouts. At least looking on the distance from here, they have one Hoovy has a beard down there. Looks like he has a flat head. The other one is just sticking with the true classic heavy boxer loadout. He has his towel on him, pugilist protector, gloves, and things like that. So it looks as if both fighters have reasonable loadouts, but I mean, one of them's trying to look classic, and one of them's just trying to be a little bit different. But at least in terms of loadouts, I'm gonna have to go with the pugilist protector loadout. Gonzo?
Wait, the pugilist? Which one was that again?
That's the rubber headgear.
Oh, of course. Now I get it now. And of course, it does look like a classy fit, like almost Rocky Balboa-esque. Pretty much the standard loadout there. I noticed that through my little scope, I noticed that there's a hat. What kind of a look this wait, who is he? Which one are we dealing with a strange hat?
This is the red Hoovy. This is Spottin.
What look is Spottin going for anyway? I can't even make heads or tails what it's supposed to be.
Well, he's in our voice chat server right now. Spottin, do you want to answer Gonzo's question?
Please.
Yes, I do. I am going for a really old war veteran who apparently likes wearing skull hoodies.
Okay, I guess that pretty much answers things. I guess that's pretty sufficient enough. I gotta say, though, it's kind of old and kind of unsettling. But that's just another story.
One interesting policy that we'll discuss right now is that the heavy boxers now, new policy with the league is that before they start their actual match, they're required to have 3 warm-up rounds of the heavies punching on each other, 3 deaths in a sense. They are required to have 3 warm-up rounds so that they can ensure that they're not lagging out, as well as they can give us time to comment on their loadouts and things like that, which I think it's a great policy that they put in place so that the heavy boxers can start punching each other, be ready for the warm-up and everything like that. I think it's an interesting policy that the league has put in. Clayface, your thought?
Oh, very interesting policy. Certainly one that I've never seen before. And here they go now. As you can see there.
You know what you can do and what you cannot do. You cannot eat, you cannot jump, or you shall not, and you shall not exit the ring. Unfriendly Hoovy, are you ready?
Engineer is spy.
No, I'm not a spy.
Heavy is spy. Engineer is spy.
Are you ready?
Medic is spy.
Oh,
Spottin, are you ready?
Spy. Engineer is spy.
And he
I
slips
think
into
he
some
is ready.
dementia.
Ring the bell, boys.
And the round kicks off again after a very interesting series of events. Punches still being thrown by both fighters evenly. One extra punch laid there by Spot,
Absolutely
and he wins round
no
one.
difference.
Doesn't
Absolutely
look
no
like there
difference.
was much difference there. Even with the KGB on him, he still managed to hold his ground and still managed to be a great heavy boxer there. And maybe he could win one more round and make it to the divisionals with an ace, or who knows, Hoovy may be able to overcome and get him tied. Clayface?
Oh no, certainly not. Spottin looks like he has got this in control, but hey, you never know. The unfriendly Hoovy can pull something off. We just have to wait and see, truly.
Gonzo, any thoughts?
Here's hoping that, just as before, it'll just be the same result. But who knows? Right now, I'm just kind of... You guys keep going with the match because I feel like I should be using the men's room at the moment. Yeah.
All right, let's head back down to the ring with Dr. Sensei Hugo for round 2.
Okay, no jumping, no eating, no exiting the ring, no kicking, no spitting, and Spartan, go back to your corner. Good boy. Spartan, are you ready?
Yes.
Unfriendly Hoovy, are you ready? Oh, you are not.
Engineer is spy.
Let's start fighting.
Engineer is
Good luck, boys. Ring the bell.
And round 2 kicks off. Looks like Unfriendly will be a little bit slow to start out there. An interesting strategy attempted by him, and punches extra thrown.
Oh, sweet.
Will advance to the divisionals. And even with the slight slip up there of not using the killing gloves of boxing, Spaten still managed to become victorious, and he will advance to face either White Russian Bear or David Danger in the divisionals next week. Now, Clayface, let's get your analysis on this. At least looking ahead, if Spaten faces Russian Bear, that will be an interesting
Unfriendly
divisional
Hoovy
match,
is sad.
and that will be close. How do you feel if that matchup would play out?
If that matchup does happen, to be honest, my money is on Spottin to win that match. I feel Spottin is in really good form. I feel like he can definitely beat White Russian Bear. White Russian Bear has kind of lacked in form the last couple of tournaments, and he's kind of lost his touch a little bit. So I reckon Spottin will probably pull that off, but we just have to wait and see if Russian can even make it past David Danger.
Indeed, and it's going to be especially interesting to see how David Danger will play out against White Russian Bear, because Danger, he has been in tournaments in the past, and he has done a significant job. But it's just varied. I believe he's faced Russian Bear for every match he's been in, and that's the only one he's fallen to. So it's going to be a hard thing for him to overcome. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall head down to the locker room as Gonzo is at the locker room to get a sideline interview with the recent victor, Spaten. Gonzo, what's happening down in the locker room?
Well, we have a medic, but I don't know why he's here. But regardless, anyway, Spaten, you managed to succeed despite the changes that you had to do in order to make sure you're legal. Now, with the upcoming possibility of you facing off on whoever opponent will win next week's matchup, do you think you might be able to keep up with your lucky streak? Or do you think it might be ending with whoever actually wins the next match?
I don't actually think it's going to fluctuate at all. I've had the same strategy for like my entirety of the time, which was like complete aggression, but lately that hasn't been working. But I haven't gone to like fight Russian Bear like ever since my first time coming into the heavy boxing league. We were pretty evenly matched, but he had to like slide up our advantage against me. But as you've seen there, it was actually a pretty close matchup, and I actually did happen to make him have to think a few times when he approached me. But But if Russian Bear wins, I'm probably gonna have a bit of a problem if it's not Russian Bear. That guy is whoever has the chance to fight me. Then is like, it's not gonna end well for them. But I also really thought that we didn't have to use the killing gloves of boxing anymore because like, I really hate using these because whenever I have to fight who is it?
It was,
Some
I believe,
Porcupine.
unfriendly. Well,
No, Some
I'm sorry?
Porcupine. Like, whenever I have to fight him wearing these, I always have a delay between my punches, so that's the only problem I have with being forced to use these. Because I really do not think this rule should be enforced in any more future tournaments.
Something for the upper management to consider. So basically, I believe we're good. I believe we got a good word out of you. So, what now?
Going to go ahead and introduce our referee for this next match we have. Before we begin, we'd just like to say there was going to be a match between Cool Dog and the Classy Man, but unfortunately Cool Dog has forfeited, and Classy Man will be advancing by default to the divisionals. It was an unfortunate forfeit, but that's what we're gonna have. Just save it for the after stream, Gonzo. All right.
Let me actually.
We'll go ahead and
nice. I'll be nice, and I'll try to be as clean and pleasant as possible. Then it was kind of a good idea because I was down in the locker. I was dealing with looking some of the people over, incling Cool Dog. I am not so sure about how Cool Dog would have fared anyway because I might as well just put it as nice and delicately as possible. The lights may be on, but I don't think anybody's home in there.
I love
It's
the
just,
smell of a kicked ass.
yeah. He didn't look altogether there. Looks like he was lost.
Interesting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and introduce our official for this next match. He was the runner-up for the Sasha Heavyweight Championship in Season 3, as well as he went straight to officiating right after. So he's been in the ring, and he's had first-hand experience. Give it up for our referee for these next two matches, Snake.
It is a very unorthodox and very unique entrance. Seems like he just transcended from another realm. And just...
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our way heavy boxer. He is a newcomer to the National Heavy Boxing League, as well as by his name, he is the King of the Seas. Give it up for the one and only Poseidon.
I love the smell of a kicked ass.
And now we shall introduce our home heavy boxer. He has gotten 4th place in the last 3 tournaments of the National Heavy Boxing League. But he is coming into this tournament ready to give it his all. Give it up for the one and only Setup Lit. A very interesting entrance there by Setup Lit.
He just flew in the ring. What was that?
I guess he's
just a
ready
moment
to
of
rumble.
silence. It was just a moment of silence, and then just wondering what was going to happen. Or it was a moment of silence for us, and then just it was almost like a cartoon effect.
Pretty much, yeah. That was
All right,
so
while the fighters take their warm-up rounds here, mandatory warm-up rounds, we'll comment on their loadouts. Poseidon here, he has an unusual nuts and bolts pugilist protector, but then Setup Lit over here, he does not have really anything other than the KGB, which is really interesting. But I mean, going by experience here, I think Setup Lit has the upper hand, but Poseidon has an unusual. You don't get those by being around for a short time or not having experienced heavy boxing, you know? Granted, you could probably have like $20 in your Steam wallet and buy it off the market now, but why would you wear that if it's a false impression, you know? Gonzo?
Here's hoping that it ain't under a false impression. However, though, do keep in mind, looks can be deceiving. Remember, unfortunately, because of some unfortunate misunderstanding, Setup doesn't have very much on him. But then again, he only needs the bare essentials. And only by the bare essentials did he manage to get this far. But yeah, something tells me he might have something else happening.
So again, let's just talk about right here. We do have the great one and only Setup Lit, who has consistently gotten 4th place in 3 tournaments in a row, as well as we have seen unfortunately we have not seen Poseidon. He's a brand new fighter in the league, but again, is unusual here compared to the fighter who does not have one. Clayface, any thoughts, at least loadout wise, of who you think will win this match?
Loadouts never matter, man. They don't ever matter. Seriously, like that is the least important thing that I'm looking at here. I look at pure skill, and I think Setup's been around for longer, but I personally don't really look at how they are dressed. I like to see how they are skilled in the ring. I'll comment when the fight's on, of course, or over.
Mm-hmm. And the fighter's not taking their warm-up rounds there yet. It's weird. I guess Setup Lit is I think he's wanting to have someone go with the first punch in him. I'm not sure about that. But Gonzo, what did you say again about your opinion of their loadout?
Like I said, it's just it seems that he pretty much has the word already, or Clayface. Yes, indeed, the loadouts does seem intimidating on Poseidon, but like Clayface say, it didn't really matter. I mean, all that Setup needed was the bare essentials, and the bare essentials managed to get him this far.
Indeed, and I had the privilege of speaking with Setup Lit earlier, and he was asking me, as a lot of fighters have asked me, you know, they've asked, do I have the potential of winning the Sash Heavyweight Championship? I've told them all the same thing. If you work hard at it, you put in the time and effort, then everybody has the opportunity to win the Sash Heavyweight Championship. But I mean, one of the things you have to consider going into that, especially with Valve Doesn't Care, he's based in Finland as well. He is running on right now 160 ping. It's going in between 160, 170 ping. And he's going against someone here who has 56 ping. This server's based in Kansas. So Setup Lit here has to adapt, and he has to. That is partly why we have these warm-up rounds here, is even with high ping and things like that, so they can adjust and know when to time their hits right and things like that. This is the final warm-up round they're taking. But as Clayface here, who's commentated for matches in Australia, he could tell you certainly that ping does not matter, especially since him and I have seen in inter-promotional fights we had with new traders on the block. Clayface, ping doesn't matter, isn't that the truth?
Well, yes and no, because sometimes the ping can actually help you. As seen with Setup Lit, 160 ping. He's he's been doing pretty well for himself in the past couple tournaments. I've seen many guys fight with over 250 ping, like myself. I have once fought with over 300 ping once, and man, was it a challenge? Yes, it was. But I managed to land a couple punches. I managed to get the guy down a couple times. I managed to pull off a couple things that I definitely didn't expect. And Setuplet has that potential. With 160 ping isn't as bad as you think. It really isn't.
Indeed. And now we shall head down to the referee, Snake, for the kickoff of round 1 of this match.
What is Setup doing?
Not sure. He's not in Discord right now, so I don't think he knows 100% where he's supposed to be. But someone can let him know.
Snake, can you get down there?
Please.
Snake, I believe your microphone is muted on Discord.
Wonder if there's something going on. Well, he's back in the corner, so.
Oh, it started.
Fighters, please take your positions. All right. Gentlemen, welcome to the first round of the Sasha Heavyweight Boxing Title Tournament. I'm your referee, Snake. I will try my best to be as unbiased as possible, and I assure you that the integrity of the game will be secure. The rules, as stated, are no crouching, no jumping, no cheap shots, no crotch shots especially. We've had issues in the past seasons about that. The only gloves that are approved are killing gloves of boxing. You guys seem to have the requirements.
What the?
Why are you guys fighting?
Uh-oh.
Hey.
They've already started a fight before they were even supposed to know.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you're not
yikes.
supposed to start fighting yet. Gentlemen, the referee, that round did not count.
Man, are they just getting impatient or what?
It looks like they're getting impatient.
Yikes!
Setup, please go back to the
Setup is
corner.
just—he's a little antsy
Thank you.
today.
Oh,
I'm getting
yeah.
a little worried.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, that round did not count. We will start over. And I said no cheap shots, by the way. Anyway, fighters, please take your positions. Poseidon, are you ready? I said, are you ready?
I don't know if he's lagging out or not. Well, he moved.
I'll take that as
Okay,
a yes.
there we go.
Set up.
Setup is
Setup,
getting awfully
are you
antsy.
ready?
This might cause him some trouble.
All right. On the ring of the bell, wherever that is, we may begin.
Round 1 begins. Setuplet and Poseidon. No punches have been thrown yet. One swung on the corner. First punch thrown in there by Setuplet. Both punches just going in. The unusual heavy looks like he's falling down. Punches still being thrown in there. Maybe Setuplet has a chance in here. Setuplet wins round 1. And as you can see, the warm-up rounds have helped for some fighters. And Setuplet, again, we're seeing him with that top 4 places.
There's some help.
Great,
Never mind.
very great heavy boxing on his part. Gonzo?
You may not notice, even though you said it was a King of Sea, I do remember there was another Poseidon, a ship that unfortunately sunk upside down, mind you. It seems like already, but I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be the first definition instead of the second, but I don't know. With Setup needing just the bare essentials just to get through it and just relying on adapting to his opponent's methods, who knows if Poseidon has a chance.
Mission accomplished.
Indeed. Clayface?
Charge me.
Oh my! Just as I said, 160 ping is absolutely nothing for this guy fighting out of Finland. I love watching guys from like different countries come into this league and make an impact, and that is what Setuplet wants to do. He wants to make an impact. He wants to be the first guy to win the National Heavy
Set up,
Boxing
please go back to
League.
your corner.
to win the National Heavy Boxing League outside of the United States. Fedor, imagine how historical that would be for the National Heavy Boxing League. A fighter out of the United States winning this league.
Indeed, we have not had that yet. All of our fighters have been based in the United States. So that would be a very influential thing. Although it may be a surprise to some people, White Russian Bear is actually not based in Russia. He is based in the United States.
United States.
He
And
is
now we shall
Russian
head-
in name only.
Yes, in Russian in name only. We shall head back down to Snake for round 2.
Alrighty. Gentlemen, I'll make this quick since I don't want you to get impatient again. Oh, and just an FYI, after the matches, there are health kits around the ring. And the bell is going off prematurely, but that's okay. Fighters, get to your corners. Oh, and the ring, the sides of the ring will bounce you, so beware. Poseidon, are you ready?
Engineer is spy.
I'll take that as a yes. Shut up, are you ready?
Engineer is spy.
I will also take that as a yes. At the sound of the bell, you may begin.
And round 2 begins. Setuplit having the advantage here. Poseidon looking to go in first for the aggressive offense. Not a single punch has been on target yet. This punch is being thrown in midair. Just trying to get an advantage on their opponent. Still nothing. First punch thrown there by Setuplit. Both hovering over the word season on the ring. Just going in for the punches there. Looks like Poseidon needs to get the upper advantage here. Balanced out, and Setuplit will advance to the divisionals.
Holy shit!
Indeed.
I have got a
guy
couple
from-
words to say. Truly, you just want to see him make an impact, Fedora. He wants to make that impact, as you see right there.
He was so impatient to make that impact, he even knocked him out prematurely before we even started the match. He is just so ready to take out his opponents. He's just so anxious.
Fedora.
He is willing to just disregard timing and just go for the kill.
Who
indeed.
does Setuplit fight next? The winner of who?
Looking at this bracket here, he will either face Root Beer Float or Ronald McDonald.
Oh, Ronald McDonald.
Well,
Oh yeah.
McDonald. Oh my.
Oh yeah, Ronald McDonald, the same one who managed to be victorious and get to, I believe, 3rd place in the last tournament, but he has advanced very far in the he's gotten in the top 4 places for the last 3 tournaments. So that is going to be a very great match.
The gentleman says, I am a big fan of Ronald McDonald, as I know I've seen him fight before. He's a machine. He took our Waiwa Shin Bear in a couple seasons ago when I watched. I think it was the Playboy Fortress Invitational. I was watching.
He's participated in the last 3 tournaments.
Russian Bear
Boxing
and
Day
hammered
Classic.
Russian down.
Oh yeah.
Russian got smashed, and then Ronald McDonald was just so chilled about it, man. Ronald McDonald is a threat in this tournament. Absolute threat in this tournament, Ronald McDonald.
I mean, yikes. This is one clown you should not clown around with. No pun intended on the second part.
Fedora, can I ask you a question?
You just
Do you
did.
Don't be a smartass now.
do you think Fedora? Do you think that this is season 5 is the best, has got some of the best fighters as of today, in any season has got some of the best fighters you've seen, like the most stacked season in terms of fighter wise?
Well, I wouldn't say stacked. I mean, the best competition. Yes, we have some great fighters in the league for the regular season who are ready to fight and are ready to give it their all for the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. And part of that especially is with the largeness of the prize pool. I mean, again, we're giving out a unusual pugilist protector with the circling TF logo. but we're also giving out several Steam games for the top 4 places. So it's going to be a very interesting tournament, you know?
Oh yes, this is a massive tournament. I gotta say, this is an exciting tournament to be watching.
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall head down to the locker rooms where Gonzo is out on the sidelines with Setuplet to give the post-match interview. Gonzo, let's hear it.
Before we start, what is this guy doing firing at me?
I'm not sure. Oh, by the way,
Do I have to come in there and choke a bitch?
oh, by the way, Gonzo, Setuplet is not in Discord, so you're gonna have to use the in-game.
I have noticed it, but I just wanted to ask you before I move on to the in-game talk. Okay, now to move in and do the interview.
Alright, where are you, and why the fuck are you? Just get the hell out of here. Where the hell are you? Why are you even in here? You're supposed to be... Oh. Go away! Please, for the love of God, don't make me fucking... Oof. Do I have to end somebody?
I wish I could see right now what's going on in there.
Anyways, how about we come over to the resupply locker and do a proper interview? Come on, Setup.
Yes.
Move. Now, Setup, you actually had the bare essentials, and you were, Scram!
I only wish we could see right now from the commentators box.
All right. Now that we're good, hopefully we'll continue on without the... I am really sick of you. I'm about to beat somebody to death here!
Well, I'll deal with him. Child, go in your fucking bathroom now. Go into the bathroom like a good boy.
Anyway, Setup. You just only had the, bare essentials. You just only have the KGB. And you were up against somebody who had an unusual item on his loadout. Did it intimidate you in any way?
And Setuplet will be answering over text because he does not have a microphone.
Oh, you didn't notice. Well, he did have an unusual hat on with some gears around it, but it didn't matter to you? Ah. You were quite aggressive. You were even, like, going after them after 3 practice rounds, and you were just anxious to even get in there and make an impact. Was you, like, was you so into this that you were actually even getting a little impatient there? Well, that's understandable, but we only allowed, like, 3 victories each, so... new policy. That's a classical argument there. So, with the anticipation of possibly facing either another newcomer or... Wait, is...
Ronald McDonald.
Is Rupier a new person or not? Hang on.
He participated, I believe, in the Vatican City Gaming Battle Royale, but I don't believe he made it past the wild cards.
Now I got it. Okay, so basically, facing either one of the 2 opponents from the previous tournaments, do you feel intimidated? Ah. However, do you think you have the confidence to, or even the skill? Do you think personally, do you think you have the skill in order to overcome whoever will win in next week's matches?
No!
Okay. Well, despite all that, I do wish you well, and hopefully you do well and give us a good show. Anyways, I believe we're done here.
We are about to go ahead and have the last match of the night, which we're all looking forward to here. It's going to be a great match. Our referee for this match is Snake, and introducing our away fighter. He has won the last 3 tournaments in the National Heavy Boxing League, setting a record for most consistent tournaments won. He is ready to go all out and potentially take the 5th Sasha Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Some Porcupine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our home fighter. He's a newcomer to the Heavy Boxing League, or to the National Heavy Boxing League, but he is certainly here to give it his all. Give it up for the one and only, the derpest Russian. Right. And while they take their mandatory three-round warm-ups, let's go ahead and get our insight here based on their loadouts. Porcupine has an unusual, but again, loadouts don't make a huge difference. They both are very strong fighters. It looks like, at least looking at these warm-up rounds now, they're both taking about the same strategy of being conservative with what they're doing, being very careful with the moves they are making. But it does look like that they are going. This is going to be a very interesting match for both for all of us here to see.
I can see. Oh, sorry.
Porcupine is going to win the whole tournament, as I say right now. This is just the start of a journey. It's not just the start, but it's the start of a new era of boxing, Fedora. This is the new era of boxing. As you see here, Porcupine is a guy that's currently on an absolute destruction. He is destroying everybody in his path, absolutely manhandling everyone. So many wins in a row, so many tournament wins in a row. Unbelievable, unbelievable. He is right now pound for pound #1 in National Heavy Boxing League, in my opinion, at the moment.
He even shows off that he has been there, done that. Just look at him. He's already intimidating personally with the unusual hat and his wrestling belt that he's on display, showing that he probably does have what it takes. But then again, as we said before, sometimes the loadouts do not matter. It just comes down to skill. Hopefully, though, our little veteran here has what it takes.
Indeed. And now we shall head down to the ring with our referee Snake for round 1.
Oh, there you are, Porcupine. Please, fighters, get your corners. Some Porcupine, are you ready to fight? And Derpy Russian, are you ready to fight?
Yes.
And without further ado, and without instruction, please begin the match. You know the rules.
Round 1 begins. Both fighters going straight at it into the middle of the ring. Both throwing evenly punches there. Looks like Porcupine has the advantage by 3 punches. Both fighters going for it. Porcupine wins round 1. And again, we see Porcupine giving it his all, keeping that strategy of conservative with his movements, but going in for the punch when the other fighter is being conservative. Great strategy there that survived him for 3 tournaments, and maybe it'll be 4. Gonzo.
It certainly has been. I mean, yikes. This rookie seems to be taking a bit more of a bite than he can chew. I mean, yikes, we are dealing with one veteran menace. Ugh. I bet the second match it will be the same scenario, and I bet Clayface is waiting, just waiting for Porcupine's inevitable victory.
As I said, we're looking at a new era of boxing. This is where champions are crowned. This is where people become famous for heavy boxing. This is the new heavy boxing era. This is season 5, people. This is a whole new situation, and this man is dominating, as you can see in the first round. And this is only the beginning, people. This is only the beginning. Only the beginning.
This is also the time. This is also the time that you should probably start taking your Valium. You're getting a little bouncy there.
Of course. All right, and now we shall head down back to the ring with our referee Snake for round 2.
Gentlemen, welcome to round 2. Remember that there is no crouching, no jumping. And be aware that the boxing ring's ends bounce you around. So, anyway, have a good fight. Play nice. And on the sound of the bell ringing, you may begin.
Round 2 begins. The rookie going straight in for the punch there. Punches both being thrown on both of them. Looks like Porcupine has a 3-punch advantage. And Porcupine will advance to the divisionals.
That makes me moist. My God, look at that.
Easy there, Dawson. We do not need the janitors here. But yes, this was astonishing and somewhat predictable too. We do have one veteran who had the skill to make it all the way and last this match with little to no difficulty. Certainly he ended up getting a few punches, but he took them rather well and kept on punching until he was victorious. Oh.
Hey Fedor, I would just like to let you know that was a flawless victory on round 2.
It was?
He did not take a single
That
punch.
was a flawless victory on Some Porcupine.
A flawless victory?
No punches,
landed in that round?
That's correct. Coming from the
As I
referee.
said, people, that makes me moist. Jeez, look at that.
Take your Valium.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable. A new era, and truly, a new era.
Gonzo, again, looking at this, so Porcupine will either face Diablo or Dwimmerspec. And Dwimmerspec has been a fighter who has made it to the divisionals. I believe he lost to either Spaten or Russian Bear. I'd have to look back at the tournament brackets and look at the history on that. But Dwimmerspec has been a fighter in the NHBL. Diablo is brand new. So it's a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting turn of events to see how next week's wild cards are going to match out to see who will go to the divisionals. But it is also going to be a very interesting. Do you mind, Clayface? I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's going to be a very interesting season 5 tournament.
Indeed, it
Wouldn't
will
you
be.
say so, Gons?
Indeed, it will be. Just judging by these few matches alone, minus the one forfeit, it's already speculating that this will be a great season. I just can't wait to see more punches and more champions being made, either by a rookie or the veteran like Spaten.
Indeed. And now we have Clayface in the locker room with the victor himself, the 3-tournament champion, Some Porcupine, ready for the sideline interview. Down to you, Clayface.
Where is he?
It should be
in red locker room.
He should be in red locker room.
He's not
Who's down there? Who is down there? Oh, that's probably Valve. Anyway, it's
Alright, we're just waiting for Porcupine to come back to the old locker room.
He's there.
It's red.
He may be in a different room. Look around.
in the red locker room.
Yeah, here he is. Here he is. All right, I'm here with Some Porcupine. Wow, what a performance! Unbelievable! And you are the first person to ever make me say that was moist. Now, we're gonna go back into full details here. Some Porcupine, do you think you are the best fighter in the National Heavy Boxing League right now? I'm gonna throw that at you.
I would. I don't know. Maybe.
Trust me.
Probably.
Trust me. You
Maybe.
are.
I don't know.
You've got some unbelievable form backing you up. You're on a hell of a winning streak that has yet to be crushed or yet to be broken by any fighter. We have seen you win 3 tournaments straight, and you are the favorite to win season 5, in my opinion. How do you feel after just manhandling Durkas Russian in this first fight?
I feel pretty good. It's been a long time since I boxed, so like that was pretty good to do. I really like the new rule with the 3 warm-up rounds, and it helps me get back into the groove.
Oh man, I'm sure it would have made no difference whatsoever. Now, next fight, you are either fighting Wimmer Smek or Diablo. Have you faced any of those guys yet? I'm sure you've probably faced, I don't know, one of them, or even heard of one of them. But what do you have to say about those guys? I mean, they're coming up next week for you.
Well, first off, I have not heard of either of those, and I've never boxed either of them. Second off, this might sound sort of weird, but I'm actually looking forward to whoever beats me.
You're actually looking forward to whoever beats you. That's very interesting. As I said, the season 5 has got a new era of boxes. You are part of this new era of boxes, a huge dominant side of a new era. We've seen so many great fighters come out of season 5. We've seen rookies win the National Heavy Boxing League. You are not a rookie for this event. You're coming off 3 tournament wins. It is classical, absolutely swift. You're absolutely destructional when you get in the ring. No one can lay a finger on you. Do you have any other words to say before we take it back to Fedora?
I'm looking forward to the fight I will be doing in 2 weeks, and we'll see if anyone can beat me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, before I head it back to Fedora, I have an inside joke with Fedora. This thing is smaller than an actual thing, Fedora. This guy is absolutely magnificent. Fantastic. Back to Fedora.